There are over 1,400 glacial lakes in Nepal. Most of them didn't exist 50 years ago. They are the direct result of glaciers melting faster than at any point in recorded human history. And of those 1,400 lakes, scientists have identified at least 21 as potentially dangerous, meaning they could burst without warning. This is not a future problem, it's happening right now. But Nepal is not waiting for disaster. In fact, the country has become an unexpected global leader in one area, learning how to live with climate change. The numbers are sobering. Nepal is warming at a rate significantly higher than the global average, especially in the high Himalayas, where temperatures have risen faster than almost anywhere else on Earth. The monsoon, which feeds nearly everything, has become erratic. Short bursts of intense rainfall cause flash floods and landslides. Then, extended dry spells destroy crops. The World Bank estimates that climate variability is already reducing Nepal's agricultural output and could significantly shrink the country's GDP by mid-century if left unchecked. Landslides, once rare, have become a regular part of life during monsoon season, destroying roads, homes, and entire livelihoods. In 2008, something terrifying happened. A glacial lake called Tisho Rolpa, one of the most dangerous in the country, came within a hair's breadth of bursting. If it had, the wall of water would have wiped out villages, hydroelectric plants, and farmland all the way downstream. That near miss woke Nepal up. It led to one of the first major glacial lake drainage projects in the world. Engineers literally lowering the lake level to reduce the pressure. It worked. But there are 20 more lakes just like it, and you can't drain them all. So Nepal had to learn something harder: how to live with the risk. So what do you do when you can't stop the flood? You warn people. Nepal has invested heavily in community-based flood early warning systems, especially in the Kanali and Koshi river basins. These systems use automated river sensors that measure water levels in real time. When the water crosses a danger threshold, the system sends an SMS alert to local disaster committees. Those committees, made up of community volunteers, then go door to door or use loudspeakers to tell people to move to higher ground. It's simple, it's low tech, and it works. These systems have reduced response times from hours to minutes. They've saved thousands of lives. But floods aren't the only problem. For most Nepalis, climate change is something you face in your field every single day. Agriculture employs over 60% of the country's population, and most of it is rain-fed. That means when the rain doesn't come or comes too much, people go hungry. Climate-smart agriculture is the quiet revolution happening across Nepal's farms. Drought-resistant rice varieties, improved irrigation, solar-powered pumps instead of diesel. Crop diversification, so that if one crop fails, the family still has something to eat and sell. It's not flashy, but it's working. Communities that have adopted these techniques are reporting higher yields and more stable incomes, even as the weather becomes more unpredictable. This is where the story gets interesting. Nepal's National Adaptation Plan, the official government strategy for 2021 to 2050, doesn't put the solutions in Kathmandu, it puts them in the villages. Local adaptation plans of action, or LAPIs, are created by communities themselves. A village in the hills doesn't wait for the government to build a retaining wall. They identify the landslide risk, pool their resources, and build it themselves. Or they restore a natural water source by planting native vegetation. Or they dig a community pond to store water for the dry season. The international agencies, the UNDP, the World Bank, fund these initiatives. But the decisions are made by the people who live there, because they know their land better than anyone. There's a phrase that's gaining traction: nature-based solutions. What does that mean in practice? Instead of building concrete embankments to control rivers, which are expensive, break, and look ugly, you plant native bamboo and grass along riverbanks. Their roots hold the soil together. Instead of blasting away unstable slopes, you terrace them and plant deep-rooted trees. It's cheaper, it lasts longer, and it works with the ecosystem, not against it. This is called bioengineering. Nepal has been quietly pioneering it for years. In a country where the terrain is too rugged and the budget too small for big concrete infrastructure, nature turns out to be the best engineer of all. It would be dishonest to paint only an optimistic picture. There are real losses. Every year, climate-related disasters push tens of thousands of Nepalis into poverty. A single flood can destroy a farmer's entire year of working hours. A landslide can cut off a village for months. The economic cost is staggering, and it's growing. The World Bank's Country Climate and Development Report estimates that unchecked climate change could reduce Nepal's GDP by a significant margin by 2050. The poorest communities, the ones who contributed least to global emissions, are hit hardest. That is the injustice at the heart of this story. But it's also why adaptation matters so much. Every dollar spent on early warning systems, on climate resilient seeds, on bioengineered riverbanks, it's not just an expense, it's an investment in survival. So, what does the future look like for Nepal? The government's 16-5-year plan explicitly prioritizes climate resilient development. The National Adaptation Plan provides a roadmap to 2050. But the real work happens in the 10,000 small decisions made every day by communities across this country. A village that chooses to restore its watershed instead of cutting down trees. A farmer who tries a drought resistant seed for the first time. A mother who hears the flood siren and knows exactly where to take her children. Nepal didn't cause this crisis, but it is showing the world something remarkable: how to face it with courage, with ingenuity, and with the quiet determination of people who refuse to be victims of a future they did not choose. Adaptation is not surrender, it is resistance. Slow, steady, alive. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe Uparkoti channel for more reviews and policy analysis.